Just across the state line in Illinois sits the quiet town of Crossville. With its single stoplight along Route 1, you could just miss it on your way through the land of Lincoln. Wandering down its slumbering streets, you'll find a garage bustling with activity.
Come on, baby, let's go.
Claudie Parson makes brooms.
This is why it's nice to be a broom maker, because I make a mess and I make the equipment to clean it up with.
For years now, she's been creating these sweepers the old-fashioned way.
This machine is called a kick winder, and it's a 1908, built in Chicago.
The name may be simple, but there's more to this trade that Claudie got involved in over 20 years ago.
Wind this around. Okay, so now I've got my wire wrapped around the handle, and we're using a material called broom corn. And broom corn is grown primarily now in Mexico. Illinois, Indiana, Nebraska, Kansas all used to be huge broom corn growing areas. But this is the very top of the plant that we're using. It grows 10 to 15 feet tall. So we're going to take some broom corn and we put it underneath the wire. I'm going to make my ends straight. So they go underneath the wire like this, and I'm going to tighten this just a little bit. That's my tension. And this just wraps onto the handle.
Handful after handful of broom corn is added to the handle of this old-fashioned sweeper.
We want more thickness on this, so we put shoulders on the broom. So I don't weigh my broom corn. Most of my broom buddies do weigh it so they know exactly how much they've got, but I never learned to do it that way, so I just wing it.
Her love for the craft came together about as surprisingly as the brooms she creates.
I was working as a tour guide in New Harmony. One of the cabins we would go in with tour groups had broom making equipment in it, and we would go in and say, this is broom making equipment, but no one knew how to operate it. So I requested that they find someone to come and show me how to make brooms so we could show it to the tour guide people, or the people on tour. And John Mavis from Bone Gap, Illinois, came over one afternoon and showed me how to use the equipment.
The afternoon was fruitful, and after a few rough tries, Claudie got up to speed. Before long, however, her career changed, and the newly learned craft was put aside so Claudie could raise her family.
After my children grew up and left home, I told my husband I was interested then in finding equipment and relearning how to do it. And he always jokes about, because these pieces of equipment weigh 250 pounds, they're solid oaks and cast iron. He said, oh no, we couldn't pick up a hobby where it's like knitting needles or something. We've got to pick up something. We've got an 18-foot trailer to haul it and dollies, and so go big or go home. And then that wire just winds around there. We put 3 to 4 wraps each time on the wire, on the body of the broom. Now comes the fun part. We're going to trim this off. So we get our nice little sharp knife here. And this trims off.
The broom is a pretty classic piece of equipment, but just like its creator, these brooms carry a bit of character.
Well, I got tired because a regular broom handle is just a plain commercial handle. Just what you see in the store, just a plain old handle. So that's pretty boring. So I just liked picking up stuff. We go to the woods. I pick up furniture on the side of the road and repurpose it and make handles out of that. My husband now knows if I see a piece of furniture, I don't have to say stop. He'll just say, I see it, and we'll go back and pick it up. But I am a repurposer. I put them on deer antlers, driftwood. If I can get a hole drilled into it, I can pretty well get a broom put on it. So the funkier the better for me.
These pieces of scrap wood pressed together with bushels of broom corn to create the finished product.
This is an 1878 model, And so this is the broom we're going to sew. So it goes down into the press. There's a little hole to hold it down there. And then we pull the handle down. And that flattens the broom out for us so we know how to sew it.
After a little bit of heavy-duty sewing, Claudie pulls these brooms to completion. What started out as a simple hobby has turned into a passion that would also bring an unexpected twist.
I love talking to people. I love meeting new people. I have met so many fascinating people from different countries, and just met 4 young men from Sri Lanka who were big Harry Potter fans. They weren't so much interested in making the broom, but when I pulled out the Harry Potter broom, they all had to get on the broom and jump and take their pictures like they were riding the broom. Just meeting new people and learning their stories and introducing my grandchildren to people and getting them out where they, meet a whole myriad of different kinds of people.
A simple craft that brings the world to this small community.